This is why I don't trade individual stocks. I only trade the stock indices by using futures. This is also why I only trade Bitcoin and Ethereum and I don't trade altcoins. Let's get into it. So this is for you, especially if you want to live a life outside of trading, whether that's working a 9 to 5, spending time with your family, doing fun things, having a business, starting a different business that's more fun to you, that's maybe more social, pursuing hobbies, passions. You don't want to be staring at the charts all the time, then this is definitely for you. So it's really simple, and that's I am interested in personally spending less time trading while still getting a good result. Okay? So you can trade in a lot of ways and do well. And I know this because if you go and you look at the World Cup of Trading, the Robbins Cup, and if you look at the US National Investing Championships, you can see what kind of returns people are making. And I like to do that to know what's reasonable and possible. And most years, the winner, depending on it, does 100%, 200%, 300%, 400%, sometimes 1,000%. Typically, a winner is doing 300% in a year. That's not normal. That's like the best in the world. But that's for stocks, that's for options, that's for Forex, that's for futures too. So what that tells me is there's proof. This is audited, right? The Robbins Cup, the US Investing Championships audited. This isn't fake information that someone is selling you on Instagram or YouTube. That's real audited results where you can see you can make a lot of money in a lot of ways. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to trade any one way, or definitely you don't need to trade any one asset. So I'm interested in how do I spend less time trading so I can live another life, but also so I can be more effective trading. Now, if you want to spend a lot of time trading, what would you do? You would day trade and you would also trade stocks. Why? Whatever your system for stocks, if you have any fundamental analysis, or if it's just purely technical, there's a huge world. There's 10,000 stocks. So I have traded 10,000 plus, right? We're talking about so many charts to go through. And you can use filters to narrow them down, but regardless, you're going to be looking at a lot of stocks. And I've traded stocks, and yeah, it ends up taking a lot of time because there's daily you're going through tons and tons of charts. And don't get me wrong, you can make a lot of money trading stocks. Millionaires are made trading stocks, billionaires are made trading stocks, but millionaires are made trading futures too. And the thing about trading futures is there's not 10,000 of them to choose from. If you remove the agricultural commodities and just trade the indices, there's not that many, right? You have S&P 500, you have the NASDAQ, and you have the Dow Jones. Those are the main ones. You also have the European one, you have the Japanese one, but the point is you don't need to trade that many and you can do extremely well. So I would rather look at 3 charts than 10,000. And I know that millionaires are made just trading S&P 500. Same thing goes with trading crypto. There's a lot of money to be made trading altcoins if you do it well. That also means a lot of research, and it also means looking at a lot of altcoins. I haven't even checked, but as of 2020, 2021, there was 10,000 altcoins. Probably 100,000 now. It's ridiculous, right? Everyone can make an altcoin. Hundreds of thousands, maybe. There's way too many to go through, right? So, but millionaires are made trading just Bitcoin. Millionaires are made just trading ETH. So that's why I just trade the futures and I trade the majors. And also those ones seem to work better with indicators and basic trading systems because there's less manipulation in those markets. If you think the NASDAQ is manipulated, I have news for you about altcoins, right? Altcoins are heavily manipulated, right? So another thing that I like, there's a couple other reasons why I like trading futures more than trading individual stocks and also more than trading the ETFs. And the first one is gaps. Gaps can fuck you. It's terrifying. Earnings, you're holding into earnings. Oh my God. Some of these things, you have a stop loss, you think you're managing your loss. Gaps 20% past your stop loss. Stocks act crazy. So one thing that I like about futures is there's typically for indices, there's an hour downtime during the day, and then the weekends are down, and it usually doesn't gap very far. So you're not have to worry about gap risk. Gap risk is a risk that sucks, and I would rather just eliminate. That's the same thing with Bitcoin and ETH. There's no gap risk on Bitcoin and ETH. Altcoins have slippage risk because they don't have the liquidity. There's no slippage risk on Bitcoin and ETH. You're almost always getting out exactly where you set your stop because it's such a big market, and you're never going to have any gap risk. So those are reasons to trade Bitcoin and ETH. And the last one is leverage. So leverage can amplify gains and also amplify losses. You use a stop loss to limit your losses, and you use market timing to get into the best possible time. And leverage allows you to amplify those gains while your losses are limited, and you can use your money for other things. Just have a small amount and trade it with a high leverage. Or it allows you to pyramid if the position is going in your favor. You can add and add and add, make the position huge. So that's something that leverage is a double-edged sword, obviously, but just trading regular stocks, you don't necessarily need leverage on regular stocks because they move so crazy. But you would want leverage when trading the indices because the ETFs move extremely sleepy. They have big relative moves maybe, but the absolute moves are small, and trading futures is a way to get around that. Same thing with Bitcoin. I mean, you can invest spot in Bitcoin and ETH, and that's totally fine. But it's nice to just put in a little bit of money and keep most of your funds elsewhere and trade with high leverage. Or if you're trying to become a millionaire, leverage can be your friend, right? It can blow you up, it can ruin you, but that's the nice thing about futures is it gives you a chance. So that's why I trade futures. That's why I do not trade stocks. That's individual stocks. Instead, trade the indices. That's why I don't trade altcoins. I just trade Bitcoin and ETH for the most part. And one is all about time, so that I only have to look at 10 charts instead of tens of thousands of charts. And so I don't face gap risk, and also so that I have access to leverage, which can amplify returns, and use stop loss to manage risk. But I have not too much worry about gap risk. So yeah, I wouldn't want to use leverage on stocks anyways because of gap risk. So that's why you do you. But if you're like me and you want to do other things with your time, then it makes sense to not have to sift through so many charts and just get to know 10 of them quite well. So much love. Let me know what y'all think. Appreciate you. Look forward to talking to you soon, and peace.